get it positioned.
I can see him, but you cannot.
The case.
Bale Saniwali ki jai. Vrishabhanu Raj Kumari ji ki jai. Jai Jai Sri Radhe. That's I've never done it.
Yes.
Jai Hari Bol. Hare Om. Radhe, 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 Govinda, Radhe, 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 Govinda, Radhe, 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 Govinda, Radhe, Govinda, Radhe, 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 Govinda, Radhe, Govinda, Radhe, 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 Govinda, Radhe, Govinda, Govinda, Radhe, Gopal, Radhe, Govinda, Radhe, Gopal, Radhe, 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 Govinda, 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 Radhe, Govinda, Radhe, Gopal, Radhe, Gopal, Govinda, Radhe, Gopal, Radhe, 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 Govinda, Radhe, 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 Govinda, Radhe, 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 Govinda, Radhe, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Oh Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Oh Radhe 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 Govinda Radhe Oh Radhe 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 Govinda Radhe Govinda Radhe Gopal Radhe Govinda Radhe Gopal Radhe Persona kana mora pankana Go Prema Lila. Hare Krishna. Yes, Hare Krishna. Haribo. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Haribo. Radhe 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 Govinda Radhe. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna is Radha Krishna. But very sweet because the name of Radha is more concealed. Gupta eva raso rasatvam apadyate. When rasa is hidden, then it becomes more relishable. So Hare Krishna Mahamantra is very beautiful, very relishable. In this kirtan we were singing, Mekir ki so ki si pri. This is one poem in Braj Bhasha. A new young Braj Gopi. Oh, from outside actually, but she's married and come to Braj. And she has never seen Krishna before. Only she's heard something about him. And she's speaking to her Sakhi. She's very distraught. She cannot even stand up. And she's speaking to her friend. Her friend says, oh, what's wrong with you? I was just standing by my window. And I looked out of the window. And there I saw something. What I saw was so beautiful. As soon as I saw something from my window, so beautiful, my mind began spinning around like a top. And I became blind with prema. I became blinded with love. Mohan anayana kibana naso. It was Mohan. Very charming, enchanting, beautiful son of Nanda Maharaj. He was passing by and he glanced at me, and his glance was like an arrow. And when I was struck with that glance, I fainted. Murchai girikoi anaso arrow. And I fell to the ground. Oh, someone help me, someone help me. What happened to my body? I was so strong and healthy. But now, I'm feeling great weakness. I cannot move. Vaidimilo, mohe. Call a doctor. Bring a doctor at once. Which doctor? What type of doctor? Who? Vaidimilo, mohe, Nanda Dularo. That son of Nanda Maharaj is the only doctor who can save my life. I'm afraid to uncover my face. Where can I remove my veil? Because if anyone will look in my eyes, then they'll see that there's a boy with peacock feathers in his hair living in my eyes. And then I'll be in big trouble. There'll be a scandal. Actually, they cannot see, but because everywhere she looks, you understand? By praying, Sarva Bhutes Yapaset Bhavamatmana. Those who have love, they see Krishna everywhere. So she thinks he must be in my eyes. If I remove my veil, someone may look and see him. And then I'll be criticized. So this praying should come by chanting the holy names. Krishna Nama Mahamantra Eito Subhav Ye Japi Tari Krishna Upajay Bhav. This is the Swabhav, the very nature of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that those who repeat the mantra, then transcendental ecstatic love for Krishna will manifest in the heart. If there's no aparat, no offense. So, now, after singing this kirtan and giving a little brief explanation, we come to our subject today. Nama Shrishtam Manamapi Sachiputram Atra Swarupam Rupam Tasyagraja Muripurim Maturim Goshtavati Radha Kundam Girivaram Aho Radhika Madhavasam Rakto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Sri Guru Tam Natosmi Gurave Gaura Chandrayo Radhikai Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namah Ananda Lila Maya Vigrahaya Hemabhadyabhyat Chavi Sundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasapradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshay Chiptasya Kamaritaram Kamaje Kripa Maitvam Sharanam Prapanam Vrinde Namaste Sharanara Vrindam Vrinde Namaste Sharanara Vrindam Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Hey Krishna, Hey Yadava, Hey Saketi Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Sham Sundar Shikanda Shekhar Swaraha Samurali Manara Radhikaras Kamama Kripanidhi Supriya Charna King Kurim Kuru Tavaivasmi Najivami Tayavana Tivikaya Devi Tam Namam Charantikam. Can you keep Tulsi here? Tulsi should be on the right side of the speaker. Left behind. It's okay. Do this right now.
I don't think that.
Thank you. Tulsi should always be on the right side of the speaker of Bhagavatam. She is like the judge in the assembly. If the Harikatara is very beautiful, then she'll start emitting a divine fragrance that only pure devotees can smell. But then they can understand, oh, Radha Krishna pleased and Vrinda Devi is pleased. So first of all, I offer my Sastang Dandavat Puspanjali, my heart like flowers, thousands and thousands of times, at the lotus feet of my holy master, my supremely worshipable spiritual Gurudev, Asmadiya Paramaradhatama Guru Pada Parma, Nitilila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada, Ashtotarasata Sri Rupanugacharivaya, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Secondly, I offer my pranam thousands of times at the lotus feet of my Param Gurudev, to Srila Prabhupada and to all of our Sri Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Parampara. And finally, I offer my pranam to all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripasindha. So by the closest of Sri Gauranga Gauranga, we are assembling here together for 4 days to hear Harikatha. So, in keeping with the tradition and the desire of my Gurudev, whenever he made a festival, he would begin by speaking on the subject of Guru Tattva. There are many tattvas that we must understand in our spiritual life. Jiva Tattva, what is the principle of the soul? Maya Tattva, what is the illusory energy of the Lord? Bhagavat Tattva, who is God? Krishna Tattva, who is the supreme form from whom all the other avatars have come? Bhakti Tattva, what is the process by which we can attain our goal of life? Prema Tattva, Lila Tattva, Rasa Tattva. So there are many tattvas that must be understood. However, the first tattva is Guru Tattva. If we can realize Guru Tattva, the principle of Sri Guru, then all the other tattvas, they become easily available to us. But if we don't realize Guru Tattva, then none of the other tattvas will ever be available to us, actually. And so Guru Tattva is essential and foundational for our entire spiritual life. In the Svetashvata Upanishad, there's a verse, and it's quoted by Srila Baladev Debushan in his commentary on Vedanta Sutra. In the third Adhyaya, the third chapter of Vedanta Sutra, Guru Tattva has been described. So Baladev Debushan Prabhu, he quotes from the Svetashvata Upanishad, Yasya Deve Parabhakti Yatha Deve Tata Garo Tasyaiti Katita Hyata Prakashanti Mahatmana. Yasya Deve Parabhakti, one who has Parabhakti, unconditional devotion towards the Supreme Lord, Yatha Deve Tata Garo, and not less, just as one is devoted to the Supreme Lord, if that person has devotion to his Gurudev also, then when these two conditions are met, then Tasyaiti Katita hyata prakashante mahatmana. Whatever has been described in Veda, Vedanta, Upanishad, in Srimad Bhagavatam, all the transcendental literatures, Katita, that which is Katita, which is spoken by the great sages and pure devotees. Hyarta, the Artha. Here Artha does not only mean the meaning. Here Artha means the actual subject. Prakashante. Prakashante means it is the prakash illuminated within the heart of that person who has unconditional devotion to Krishna and same unconditional devotion to his Gurudev. In other words, one should not think that transcendental knowledge is just an extension of the knowledge that we already have. One should not think that further down along the spectrum of what we already understand, there we'll find the truth. But rather, the transcendental knowledge is of a completely different order, which is completely inaccessible by any of our 10 traditional classical methods of investigation. Nikila Praman Parischeda Agochara. It is beyond all of our methods of investigation. But if his heart is fully surrendered and dedicated to Guru and Sri Krishna both, then when they hear Harikatha, then as they were hearing, there and then the actual subject matter is directly realized, illuminated within the heart. There is a darshan of Krishna. So when one receives the darshan of Krishna, now that is a sambandha gyan. Then one will take up the actual process, how to attain him and enter into his service in his pastimes. That is the abhideya. And then when one attains prema, one will actually enter into the pastimes and serve him directly. So in all stages, in the stage of sambandha, there is darshan. Only the darshanmay sambandha gyan will lead to the darshanmay abhideya. And only the darshanmay abhideya leads to the darshanmay prayojan. Don't think that in the stage of sambandha gyan, that by memorizing a list of philosophical concepts, now I have sambandha gyan. But being in darkness, and now I'll do abhideya. There's no real abhideya of pure bhakti without darshan first. Darshanmay Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur has explained. The darshanmay sambandha gives rise to the darshanmay abhideya and then the prayojan. So yasya deve prabhakti yatha deve tathagaro. In the Chandogya Upanishad, there it is said, Acharyavan Purusho Veda, a person who is under the guidance of the Acharya, the saint who teaches bhakti by his own achar, by his own example. That person can know the truth. And in the Mundak Upanishad, Tad Vijnanatam Sagurum Eva Bigachet Samit Pani Srotriam Brahmanishtam. Tad Vijnan Artam, for the purpose of attaining Vijnan, realization of the Swarup of Krishna, and how he plays with his Shaktis. In Vaishnavism, Gyan means Krishna Swarup Gyan, and Vijnan means Krishna Swarup Shakti Gyan. So, Vijnan means to realize the form of Krishna and how Sri Krishna plays with his Shaktis. In order to get this, Sagarum Eva Bigachet, one must approach a spiritual master. How? Samit Pani, carrying the wood in his hands. The implication here is that Shri Guru is engaged in the Jagya, sacrifice. So in Vedic times, that sacrifice was the fire sacrifice, Agnihotra. So the disciple should come and serve Guru by bringing what Gurudev needs for the performance of sacrifice. Now we don't, the wood, we come with the wood in our hands, that means Tulsi Japamala. Yagyanam Japa Yagyosmi. Of all sacrifices, Krishna said, I am the sacrifice of Japa. But just in principle, whatever Sri Guru needs to serve the mission of his Sri Guru Parampara, we have to come and offering that completely. That means all the activities of our body, mind and words. So what is the qualification of Guru? Samitpani Srotriyam Brahmanishtam. Two things are mentioned here. Srotriyam. He must have heard. He must have heard from his Guru. The hearing process takes time. It takes time. Shraddha, Rati, Bhakti, Anukramisyati. One must hear to develop faith. Slowly by hearing, one's faith becomes very firm and strong. Then one can enter into actual Uttam Bhakti sadhana. So Shraddha, by practicing sadhana, then the Rati will come. Nishta Ruchi Asakti Rati. And one should go on hearing, and the Rati will turn into Bhav. And again one should associate more. And gradually, the Bhav will turn into Prema. So it's become a fashion these days to only hear for a short time, few days or few years, and then fly away. Now I'll teach the world. But it's not even clear whether the Shraddha has become firm or yet. What to speak of? The sadhana becoming mature, the Bhav becoming mature, and then Prema coming. So this is not the conclusion of Shastra. Krishna Bhakti Janma Mool, Hoy Sadhu Sangha. Prema Bhakti Janma Tena Puna Mukha Anya. The root cause of the appearance of Bhakti is the Sadhu Sangha, associating with pure devotees. And that is necessary through all the stages of Bhakti. And even when one attains Prema, then it's still the most prominent anga of Bhakti. What is Prema Parajan saying? This is very extreme. No, these are Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings to Sanatana Goswami. Prema Bhakti Janma Tenu Puna Mukhya Anga. Even when you get Prema, still you need Sadhu Sangha. So, Srotriyam, Sri Guru must have heard. And by the result of this hearing, and hearing we should understand means the Srutekshita part, the path of seeing through the ears. By hearing, actual hearing from Sri Guru with ekagrita chitta, one pointed attention, then something happens. All Maya is destroyed. All attachment is destroyed. All ignorance is destroyed. And one's continuous smaran, internal vision of Sri Krishna, continuous internal vision is awakened. That is actually called hearing. You can see in Bhagavad Gita, after Krishna has spoken the whole Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, he asks Arjuna, did you hear me? So what does that mean? Is Krishna asking him whether the battery in his hearing aid is still working? Maybe the hearing aid, the battery ran out and Arjuna didn't hear. Maybe he has to change the battery. No. Arjuna, he has functioning senses. All Arjuna says he is young. He is healthy. So why is Krishna saying, did you hear me? Kachit etat shrutam pata Tvayeka grena chaitasa Kachit agyana sammoha Panastaste jananjaya. Krishna is saying, Kachit etat shrutam Partha. Hey Partha, did you hear this? Tvayeka grena chaitasa, with ekagrata chitta, with one pointed chitta, one pointed attention. Why? Because if one hears with ekagrata chitta, steady mind, then kachit agyana sammoha pranastasthe Dhananjay. Hey Dhananjay, by hearing my instructions with ekagrata chitta, steady mind, is your agyan, your avidya, ignorance, pranashta, completely destroyed. What did Arjun say? Nasta moha smriti labdha tak prasadat mayachyuta. Hey Achyuta, by your mercy, I heard your words. And now, nasto moha, my bodily conception, my bewilderment in relation to the temporary external material world, nashta, is completely destroyed. Smriti labda, I realize I am your eternal servant. So karishe vachanam tava. Hey Krishna, I am ready to do whatever you tell me. So then Arjuna, because Krishna wanted Arjuna to fight, then he fought in the battle. Not because he was a Kshatriya, not because it was his karma and his dharma, because Krishna already told him, Sarva dharman parityaja mami, give up all dharma. He did it because he realized, oh, I am your eternal servant Krishna, and this is what you want me to do. So, out of love for you, now I'll do it. So this is the meaning of srotriyam. Hearing means, upon hearing with a steady mind, then surely all ignorance, avidya will be destroyed, all attachment, all bodily identification, and one will attain the realization, who am I? What is my eternal loving relationship with Sri Krishna? So srotriyam brahmanishtam, the Guru must have heard, and brahmanishtam means his nishta fixed always, continuously in the service of Parabrahma. Brahma Shabde Kohi Purna Swayam Bhagavan. Swayam Bhagavan Krishna Shastra Praman. We are speaking about hearing with one pointed attention, but so many are sleeping. So then there's no hearing. And avidya cannot be destroyed. So Srila Baladeva Vibhushan in Vedanta Sutra, he is citing all of these important verses from Svetashvata Upanishad, from Mundak Upanishad, from Chandogya Upanishad. So then he raises a doubt. One may ask the question, is the result, that means the result of hearing, which is attaining the supreme abode of the Lord, is this result attained only by hearing, or does the hearing have to be accompanied by the mercy of the spiritual master? The anugraha, does the mercy, you are hearing, but does the mercy of the spiritual master have to be added to that to attain the results? So in the Purva Paksha, that means the antithetical argument, the devil's advocate, the devil advocate puts forward the argument, no, all you have to do is go to a sadhu and listen to them explain the scriptures, and then you'll learn everything. Just like if you go to college and you study in a class there, you just have to listen to what the professor is saying. You don't have to serve him, you don't have to love him, and he doesn't have to give you any mercy. Right? You just have to listen, learn it, write it down in the test, and you'll get the result. But is spiritual knowledge like that? So the Purva Paksha, the one who is giving the opposing argument, he says, no, just listen to the instructions of any sadhu. No need to get their mercy. You just have to learn the details. So then the Siddhanta is given by Srila Vyasadeva in the 3.3.44 of Vedanta Sutra. He said, Pradhanavat eva taduktam Pradhanavad eva taduktam. Vad means like, and pradhan means a gift or a present. So pradhanavad eva taduktam. No, this divine realization is like a gift. How do you receive a gift from someone? When someone is pleased. If someone is pleased with us, then they may buy a gift and give a gift to us. So in the same way, pradhanavat eva taduktam. The transcendental realization will come only by the prasad. Here, actually the word pradhan means a gift. That which is the act of giving here. And pra, here the prefix pra, because it just could be dhanavat, just giving in charity. But it's pradhanavat. Here the prefix pra indicates prasad. It is the prasadam vyanjayati. Mercy is indicated by the pra in pradhanavad eva taduktam. And see Krishna himself also in chapter 13 of Bhagavad Gita, he describes Acharyupasamam socham. Acharyupasanam, that means one should do the upasana. One should worship the spiritual master. So taduktam, it is stated, Krishna himself has stated, one must worship the spiritual master. And by the pleasure of the spiritual master, when he's pleased, then the divine knowledge appears in the heart of the disciple. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasada, yasya prasadat nagati kutopi. By the mercy of Sri Guru, one receives the mercy of Sri Krishna. Because Krishna Saitoma, Krishna Diti Part Tomara Shakati Achi. Sri Krishna belongs to the pure devotee. Pranaya Rasayana Ditangri Padma Sa Bhavati Bhagavata Pradhana Uktaha. Though Sri Krishna is so powerful, only the abhas, the semblance of the sound of his name can destroy all the karmas of the living entity. But still, he has been bound up with the rope of love in the heart of a pure devotee. So Krishna is the property of a pure devotee. It does not belong to anyone else. So, Vaishnavera abedana Krishna doyamoy ehinom pamara prati habina sadoy. When a pure Vaishnava is pleased with my service, then he may pray to Krishna, "Oh Sham Sundar, go and play in the heart of my disciple." Then Krishna will come with so loving, so much love. The disciple will think, "Oh, why does Krishna love me so much?" He cannot understand why. Then he thinks, "Oh, Gurudev." This is the meaning, yasya prasadat bhagavat prasadat. So one may say, but yes, we have heard all these explanations of the Guru Tattva from ancient times. But now, it's the 21st century, it's 2024. There are not such pure devotees or such personalities in the world today. So we cannot accept this conclusion. In the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, when Vidura met with Maitreya Rishi, he said to him, Janasya Krishnad Vimukasya Daivata Dharma Shilasya Sudukitasya Anugrayeya Charanti Nunam Bhutani Bhavyani Janardanasya. The meaning is that in this world, the living entities, Janasya Krishnad Vimukasya, they are vimuk. They have turned their consciousness away from God. There is nothing but God everywhere. But if you think there's something, a dvitiya vastu, bayam dvitiya abhiniveshita, if you think there's something other than the Supreme Lord, then Viparya Smriti. One's consciousness, one's conception of reality becomes completely inverted. Krishna is supreme enjoyer. Krishna is the supreme master. But everything is inverted. I am the enjoyer. I am the master. And then, adharma shilasya, one engages in adharma, irreligious activities of sense gratification in this world. And the result of that is what? Adharma shilasya sudukitasya. Then one becomes very depressed, very sad, miserable. The soul by nature is part of God. Satchid Ananda. But being covered by Maya, then the soul suffers so much in this world. But anugrahaya charantinunam, in order to show kindness to those souls and bring them to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Charantinunam bhutani bhavyani janadanasya. Great personalities, the devotees of Sri Krishna, they are wandering throughout this world. Charantinunam. Charanti is in the present tense, and it indicates the eternal presence. That at every time throughout history, there are always some pure Vaishnavas in this world. Otherwise, there's no need for the world. There's no need for the universe. The universe is only manifested by the Supreme Lord to give a chance for the souls to attain perfection in their sadhana, attain perfection in bhakti, and come to the shelter of His lotus feet. So without pure devotees in the universe, just as the universe cannot go on without the sun and the moon, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has explained. The universe cannot go on without the sun and the moon. So in the same way, the universe cannot go on unless some pure devotees of Krishna in this world. Now, I want to come to a subject which is all devotees at some point in their life, they have some questions about this. Our Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, on the instruction of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he gave the history of our Guru Parampara. And that is the Sri Bhagavat Guru Parampara. Sri Bhagavat Guru Parampara. So we see in this line, though my Guru has a Diksha from his Guru, and he has Diksha from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur has Diksha from Srila Gokishodas Babaji Maharaj. But before that, we see that Srila Gokishodas Babaji Maharaj, he does not have directly Diksha from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He has Shiksha from him. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, then after him, Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, he does not have Diksha from him. His Diksha was from, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Diksha was from the line of Janava Thakurani, Vipina Bihari Goswami. But his Shiksha Guru, Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. And then in our parampara, there is Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. But Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, he never met Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. Then his Guru, Baladev Vidyabhushan, his Guru, Srila Vishnu Chakri Thakur in our parampara. But he did not have Diksha from Srila Vishnu Chakri Thakur. Before Srila Vishnu Chakri Thakur, Srila Narottam Das Thakur. But actually the two never met. There is some generations between them. So sometimes persons think, what is this Bhagavat Guru Parampara? And those who are detractors against our Sampradaya, they say, there cannot be a spiritual knowledge in this line because Krishna, this is a basic thing. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, Evam parampara praptam imam raja shao vidu. That knowledge comes from guru to disciple, guru to disciple. And if the chain is broken, then the knowledge is lost. This idea is there. So, every acharya in our Bhagavad Guru Parampara, everyone has Diksha. They have Diksha. Like Srila Vishnu Thakur, though the next guru mentioned in our parampara is Srila Narottam Das Thakur. Srila Vishnu Thakur's Diksha Guru is Radharaman Chakravarti. And Radharaman Chakravarti is a disciple of, and son also of Krishna Charan Chakravarti. He is the disciple of Ganganarayan Chakravarti. And he was a disciple of Narottam Das Thakur. So, all the Diksha lines are there, but Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur has just picked up the most, pointed out the most influential acharyas who have made a very important historical and literary contribution to our sampradaya. And so though there is a direct Diksha line there between Srila Vishnu Thakur and the Srila Narottam Das Thakur, the next one coming down is Srila Baladeva Debhushan. And so this is not a Diksha line. Srila Baladeva Debhushan, Prabhu's guru, was Radha Damodar Goswami, coming in the line of Shyamananda Pandit and Rasikananda in Orissa. But his main connection is with Srila Vishnu Thakur through receiving shiksha from him in the Bhagavad Guru Parampara. So, here is the question. Some persons present the idea that Prabhupada Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur has invented this nomenclature. He's invented this terminology, Bhagavat Guru Parampara, because it is not described in Shastra. A parampara must be a Diksha parampara, otherwise there's no parampara. So, sometimes it happens that in a tradition, when there is no great powerful acharya, persons follow something that they have learned from someone else, but without understanding the whole historical context. And so, for example, what happened in our Gaudiya line is that there are some persons who think that our sampradaya begins with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that it doesn't go all the way back to Madhvacharya and Narada and Brahma, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Supreme Lord, so he came and he made his own new sampradaya. It's not one, we're not connected with any of the four bona fide Vaishnava sampradayas. Some persons, they have these ideas because they don't understand the historical context of their own line. So similarly, in regard to the Sri Bhagavat Guru Parampara, we have to see the historical context. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur explained that the historians from the Vedic literatures have collected 12 categories of Harijan. Harijan means the people of Hari, godly people. There are 12 categories of godly people. So these categories are mentioned in the Vedas. They are the Sattvatas, the Vaikanasas, the Karmahinas, the Bhaktas, the Pancharatrikas, the Bhagavatas. And so these are different historical categories of traditions mentioned in the scripture through which transcendental knowledge descended. But in this present time in history, most of these lines and traditions are defunct now, but two are left. That is the categories of Archan Marg, the path of service to the deity, Archan Marg, and Bhav Marg. So we can call this the Vidhi Marg and Raga Marg. So the scriptures which describe the Archan Marg or the Vidhi Marg, the path of worship and the path of rules and regulations, those scriptures, that is called the Narad Pancharatra. Narad Pancharatra. So that is the Pancharatric tradition. And then the Shastra which describes Bhav Marg, the path of ecstatic love, that is the path of Raganuga Bhakti, that is presented in the Bhagavatam. So it's called Bhagavat Marg, the Srimad Bhagavatam. So Sri Ramanujacharya and Vishnu Swami are presenting the Pancharatrik Marg mainly. And Madhvacharya and Nimbaditya, they presented the Bhagavat Marg or the Bhav Marg mainly. So from this we can understand that if there are two types of guru, a guru in the Pancharatrik Marg and a guru in the Bhagavat Marg, then if there are two types of guru, then there can be two types of succession of guru. So the Pancharatrik Guru Parampara and the Bhagavat Guru Parampara. Two types of parampara come from two types of guru. Now, Diksha, as it's understood by general people today, is actually, the full name of that Diksha is Pancharatrik Diksha. Pancharatriki Diksha. And so those persons who say the line must be a Diksha line, what they're essentially or unknowingly, unwittingly, inadvertently saying is that a parampara must be a Pancharatriki Diksha parampara, that bhakti only descends in a Vaidhi tradition. Right? In a tradition based on rules and regulations. So this is obviously incorrect. So now I just want to come, someone may say this is a very clever wrangling argument. Where is the Praman in Shastra? Especially, what about our 6 Goswamis? Where have our 6 Goswamis mentioned this? So this is a very important point, that our Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, the way he explained bhakti, the way he spoke, was so shocking to people, so radical and astonishing. They were wondering, where does he get this from? And the reason is that most people had forgotten. And then after some generations, they never knew the Sandarbhas of Srila Jiva Goswami. On the order of Rupa Goswami, Srila Jiva Goswami compiled the Sandarbhas to protect the tradition. Because Rupa Goswami had presented everything on the basis of Shraddha, on the basis of faith, for Surid, for those persons who were soft-hearted and naturally inclined towards bhakti. But to prevent the tradition from being deviated from outside influence or deviated from inside also, Srila Jiva Goswami, on the order of Rupa Goswami, built a very strong wall of a fortress around all the beautiful presentation of Rupa Goswami in the form of the Sandarbhas. An impenetrable fortress that no deviation could come in and no one from inside could get out. But over time, due to neglect of this profound presentation, then some misconceptions came about. And so what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur really did was present the sweetness and the beauty of the teachings of Srila Rupa Goswami on the platform of the powerful Siddhanta of Jiva Goswami that had been largely neglected. If you want to build a Rasa Mahal, a tall palace of Rasa, then you'll have to make a very strong foundation first. Because if you don't make a deep foundation, if you try to construct a high building, it will crumble and fall down. So this year we celebrated the 150th anniversary of the appearance of Prabhupada Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. It was his birthday just now. We celebrated in Navadvip, but the celebrations began in April with acharyas of 5 different Gaudiya Mats all came together, and there was a big festival in Mexico. And at that festival, to begin the celebration of the 150th anniversary, we published Gaudiya Darshan. Did you have? Did you read it? Huh? You see, the universe is excited that. blowing the conch shells. So, but then when it came round to his birthday, I was thinking, I already offered this to him for the celebration. Then I'll have nothing to give to him on his birthday, when the actual birthday comes, which was just now. And so we published another book, Vedic Wisdom Tales. Which is filled with 34 very short but beautiful and profound stories from the Vedas, from the Upanishads, from Mahabharata, from Srimad Bhagavatam, with Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur's explanations. So this year is a great opportunity for everyone to, again, approach the lotus feet of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur and try to understand the importance of his presentation, which is auspicious for the whole world. It's very, very difficult to understand the contribution of our 6 Goswamis without going through the teachings of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, without seeing them through his lens. If we see through our own lens, everything will be misunderstood. We must see through the lens of our Sri Guru Parampara. So, in the beginning of Tattva Sandarbha, Srila Jiva Goswami Pad says, Athanatva mantra gurun bhagavat artadan. Now, first of all, I bow down to my mantra guru. That means Pancharatriki Diksha Guru. Then he said, Gurun bhagavat artadan. And I bow down to my Bhagavat Guru. So right from the beginning of the Sandarbhas, Srila Jiva Goswami Pad describes 2 types of guru. The guru who gives us mantra and engages us in archan, and the Bhagavat Guru who shares with us the sweet rasa of Srimad Bhagavatam and the pastimes of Radha and Krishna there. So, from the very beginning of the Sandarbhas, that is explained. Now later in Anuched 283, Srila Jiva Goswami says that Yadyapi Bhagavatamate Pancharatrad Ivad Archana Marg Asyavasya Katvam Nasti Tadvinapi Sharnapati Adinam Ekatarenapi Purushata Siddher Abhihitatvat. The meaning is that Sri Bhagavatamate, in the opinion of Srimad Bhagavatam, it's not necessary to follow the Archan Marg. Does Shukadev Goswami have a Brahmin thread?
No.
Did he have a fire yagya?
No.
Does he worship a deity? No, he's just wandering here and there in a trance. He has no clothes even. He's in the Bhagavat Marg. We don't find that he followed any Yam pravra jantam anupaitam apaita krityam. Apaita krityam means if you are born, then your father and family members, and then later your guru, they have to do so many ceremonies for you. Sanskars. But Shukadev Goswami has no sanskars at all. He does not follow any worldly traditions. But he did hear the Bhagavatam from Srila Vyasadeva. Yeah. So, now the reason is that the Pancharatric Marg of Archan is avasyakatvam nasti. There's no necessity for it. Why? Because tadvinapi, even without it, sharnapati adinam, if a person will follow even one anger of bhakti, like sharnapati, surrender, hearing, chanting, remembering, offering prayers, one anga of bhakti, if you have nishta in it, it can give all perfection. Eka anga sade, keho sadi bahu anga, nishta hoila upajoy, prema taranga. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught. Some persons practice one anga of bhakti, some persons practice many angas of bhakti. But if one has nishta in whatever his practice is, then nishta hoila upajoy prema taranga. After he's steady in that practice, then waves of love will rise up in his heart. So Srila Jiva Goswami Pad said, even without following the Archan Marg, if a person will practice even one anga of bhakti, siddhir, purushartha siddhi, they will attain their perfection of life. Tatapi, still, if those who want to engage in the service of the deity with a particular relationship should be initiated in accordance with the Narad Pancharatra. So here Srila Jiva Goswami Pad said that the angas of bhakti, just hearing or chanting or remembering, they can give perfection very quickly. But they will not give perfection very quickly to a person who has two faults. One fault is called the Kadaryashil. That is the impious tendencies. If someone has the irreligious habits, a person is not naturally virtuous, so they have some bad habits, then they cannot listen with a steady mind. So they will not get the result, because the steadiness of the mind must be there to actually hear and have realization at the moment of hearing. So those who have any unvirtuous habit and vikshipta chitta, the second dosh is vikshipta chitta, distracted, unsteady mind. So those two, they will not get realization from the practice of just hearing, chanting and remembering. So for them, in order to overcome their unvirtuous habits, in order to overcome the unsteadiness of mind, then they should follow Vidhimarg. They should follow the path of the Pancharatra and receive Pancharatrik Diksha. So, what is that Pancharatrik Diksha? Divyam Jnanam Yato Datyat Korya Papasa Sanksaya Tasmat Diksheti Sa Prokta Deshikais Tatvako Vidai. The meaning is that Diksha, those who are Tattva Kovid, expert in all the Tattvas, they say that Diksha is the process by which Kuryat Papasa Sanksham, once the sins that we have, which cause us to engage in worldly karmas, these impressions in the heart, these are gradually diminished down to nothing until they're all gone. So the gradual diminishment of the worldly impressions of sins. Pap sins, that means sinful activity, and pap bij, the seeds of sins, the impressions of sins. They are by which they are diminished. And Divyam Jnanam, transcendental knowledge is given. So transcendental knowledge is given. What is that Divya Jnana? Jiva Goswami explains, Divya Jnanam Hyatra Srimati Mantre Bhagavat Sarupa Jnana Tena Bhagavat Sangbandha Vishesh Jnanam Cha. Divya Jnana means two types of knowledge. And this knowledge is imparted in the form of a mantra. So specifically in our line, Sri Guru gives the Gopal mantra. Yes, thank you. Specifically in our line, Sri Guru gives Gopal mantra. And if the devotee will very carefully remember the Gopal mantra, Dayam Stuvam Tasya Yasyas Tri Sandhyam, three sandhyas. 3 times he remembers Guru mantra, Gaur mantra and Gopal mantra. Then gradually some Bhagavat Sarup Gyan will manifest. That is, what is the form of my Ishtadev? With whom am I related? Is it Balagopal? Is it Subal Saka? The Madhumangal Saka, the friend of Subal and Madhumangal? Or is it Gopijana Vallabh, Gopinath, Radha Kanta, the beloved of Radhika? Who is my Ishtadev? By the influence of the Gopal mantra, one will have darshan of the Ishtadev, and the second type of knowledge is called Bhagavat Sambandha Vishesh Jnanam Cha. Not Sambandha Gyan, general. Sadharana Sambandha Gyan, but Vishesh Sambandha Gyan. Vishesh means special or particular. What is my particular relationship with my Ishtadev, the object of my love? These two types of knowledge, they are Dibya Gyan, and they manifest in the heart by the influence of the Gopal mantra, the Diksha mantra. And when that is realized, then one's process of Diksha is complete. And in one's spiritual form, one begins to serve your Ishtadev. So, now, these two paths, someone may say, do we have to make a choice between the Bhagavat Marg and the Pancharatrik Marg? Do we have to make a choice? No, it depends on the choices already made by our own level of eligibility. If we have unvirtuous habits and behavior, and we have Vikshipta Chitta, then there's no question of Raganuga Bhakti. Because Raga is based on greed. And that greed develops in proportion to how much we realize the beauty of Krishna. Yathaya tatma paribrijase so mat guna kata shabanavidane tata tata pasati vastu sukshmam chakshurya taivanjana samprayuktam. In Raghavatma Chandrika Srila Vishwacharya Thakur quotes this verse that was spoken by Krishna to Uddhav. He said, just as a person whose eyes are dim and they cannot see small things, then they apply an ointment to their eyes, and slowly, slowly, their vision becomes clear. So in the same way, as the devotee goes on hearing, chanting, remembering, his vision becomes clearer and clearer, and he sees he gets the sakshatkar, the direct darshan of his ishta, what is desired. And then, I want to serve. He realizes Krishna and his associates, and seeing the associates serving, he becomes mad. I want to serve like them. What beautiful love they have. And so his greed is growing day by day. But if a person has darkness in his heart and no realization, it's not possible. He cannot actually do the sadhana of Raganuga Bhakti. But if his guru is practicing Raganuga Bhakti, then he enters into the Vaidhi Marg, which is aimed at, that will gradually turn into Raga Marg. So, you can see in the second verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Srimad Bhagavate Mahamune Krite Kimba Para Ishvara Sajoridya Vrute Attaktibi Susrusabis Tatsanat. Oh, this Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahamuni Krite, it was given by the Mahamuni. Who is the Mahamuni? Vyasadeva. Actually, the deep meaning here, the Mahamuni means, Muni means one who does manan, who is contemplating, reflecting, thinking about something. So that person who is always reflecting on the Swarup of Mahabhav, Radharani, is Mahamuni. So here Mahamuni means Krishna. Krishna is always thinking of Radhika. So it was Krishna who actually manifested. This is Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll come to that. We'll come. Krishna entered into Vyasadeva, and then through Vyasadeva he's manifested it. So the Mahamuni is Krishna. He is a great Muni because he's always remembering Radhika. Kimvapara Ishvara. What is the need of any other scripture? Sadyo ridyavat rudayatakritibi susrusabis tachanat. As soon as one desires to hear this Srimad Bhagavatam, then Krishna, he comes and he enters into the heart. And he becomes trapped there. He cannot leave. Tatchanat. Tatchanat means in that very moment. And Chan also means a festival. Because hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is so ecstatic, it's like a festival for Krishna. When you sit down to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, then Krishna comes running and takes his seat in the heart. He also wants to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So Tatchanat. But here it is said, there's some condition. Kriti bi susru subis Tatchanat. Kriti bi means by the accomplished persons. In other words, Krishna will not just come immediately and sit in the heart of anyone if they come to a Bhagavatam class. He'll come and sit in the heart of the kriti, accomplished persons. So those accomplished persons, that means Labdanugara Acharya Tena Sandashitagamaha Mahapurushan Abhyachen Motyabi Mata Atmana. Krishna has explained in 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Labdanuga Acharyat, one who has received anugra, mercy from the Acharya. Tena Sandashitagama. And see, the Guru has taught him the Agama, the Pancharatra, the methods of Archan and so on. Mahapurusha Abhyachat. He should, under the guidance of his Guru, engage in Archan to the deity in accordance to the Abhiman, in accordance with his Sambandha Gyan, what type of relationship he has with the deity. So that person who has received the mercy of Guru and has become purified somewhat by serving the deity, his habits are favorable, and his mind is not distracted, he can hear with one pointed attention. Then when that person hears Srimad Bhagavatam from the Bhagavat Guru, then at once Krishna comes in his heart and he cannot leave. That he cannot leave means he attains prema. Krishna may come for a second and disappear, like he did with Narad in his previous career. But when prema is there, he can never leave. He can never leave that person. So here that Krishna becomes trapped in the heart means by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, one attains Krishna prema. So here we see, even in Srimad Bhagavatam from the beginning, the synergy between the two schools, the Pancharatric school and the Bhagavat school, is given. If someone is very well behaved and has complete concentration, he doesn't have to go in the Archan Marg. If he'll just, like Shukadev Goswami, he'll just hear Srimad Bhagavatam and he'll be drowning in prema. No need to go through the Archan Marg. But if someone, and that is, we can say, in Kali Yuga, everyone, in this Kali Yuga, then it's necessary for them. They should receive Diksha from the Guru and be trained in the Pancharatric Marg. And then gradually, as they become more purified, then when they hear Srimad Bhagavatam, of course we can hear Srimad Bhagavatam from the beginning. Srimad Bhagavatam is very powerful. So even someone who is not pure can hear Srimad Bhagavatam, but the result will not be Tatchanat there and then. It will take a little bit of time. A little bit of time. So in this way, the two margas, the two paths, they are synergistic. They work together, by which the living entities can come out from the material world, become somewhat purified, and then enter into the path of spontaneous loving devotion to the Lord. So I've given evidence from the Bhakti Sandarbha, from Tattva Sandarbha first, that there are two types of Guru. Then we have given evidence from Bhakti Sandarbha that actually the Bhagavat Marg can work independently of the Archan Marg. But it depends on the level of qualification of the individual who is approaching the path. That's enough. So now, we'll give some more evidence. Srila Jiva Goswami explains that simply by surrendering to the Supreme Lord, by Shanagati, a person can be liberated from this world. But if you are Vaishishya Lipsu, That means a person who desires a very specific, special relationship with the Lord. Then, Tato Bhagavat Shastropodestrinam Bhagavan Mantropodestrinam Va Guru Charananam Nityam Eva Visheshata Sevam Kuryat. If you want to be situated in a particular loving relationship with the Supreme Lord, then you should Nityam. You should always. That means this is not just something for 1 or 2 days, but you should continuously serve the lotus feet of Sri Guru Charananam Nityam Eva Visheshata Sevam. Render intense service to the lotus feet of Guru. But now, 2 types of Guru are mentioned here. Bhagavat Shastra Upadestrinam, Bhagavan Mantra Upadestrinam Va. 2 types of Guru. The Guru who is the Upadestrinam, he gives you instruction in the Bhagavat Shastra, in the devotional scriptures such as Srimad Bhagavatam, or Bhagavan Mantropadestrinam, the Guru who instructs you in the mantras of Archan and Diksha mantras like that. So again, Jiva Goswami is bringing out the 2 types of tradition or 2 approaches to bhakti. Then he gives examples of both. So first, he speaks about the Bhagavat Guru. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, there it says, Etat sarvam guru bhaktya purusho hyanjasha jayet. The meaning is that one can overcome all anarthas and all obstructions in spiritual life by serving the Shiksha Guru or the Bhagavat Guru. One can overcome the spirit of anger by giving up desires, because unfulfilled desires make one angry. One can give up the greed to accumulate money by understanding all the defects, how it takes so much time, how it's so difficult, and then when you get it, then you become a target for someone who also wants to get it from you, and so on. Like this, there are so many defects of wealth, 6 defects of wealth described in Shastra. One can give up fear by contemplating the nature of the truth. One can give up lamentation by discriminating between reality and appearance. One can give up deceitfulness, crookedness by serving wise persons. One can overcome the obstacles to meditation by observing silence, vacho vegam, controlling the urge to speak. One can conquer oversleep by cultivating the mode of goodness. But even though there are so many obstacles to overcome, the conclusion is a person can easily, Etat sarvam guru bhaktya purusho hyanjasajayet. A person can easily overcome all the obstacles just by serving his spiritual master. So this is an example from the 7th canto, and it's related to attaining perfection by serving the Bhagavat Shastra Upadistrina, the Guru who just instructs you in scripture. Then, Jiva Goswami gives the example of how one becomes perfect by the grace of the Mantra Guru. So in the Vamana Kalpa, there Lord Brahma, he says, Yo mantra sa guru sakshad, yo guru sa hari swayam. Guru yasya bhavet tushtas, tasya tusto hari swayam. The meaning is that Yo mantra sa guru sakshad, the mantra given by Guru is Guru himself. See, Guru's spiritual form is there in the mantra given by Guru. And Yo mantra sa Guru sakshad, sa Guru sa Hari swayam. And the Guru himself is one form of Hari. He is the Supreme Lord himself. Therefore, the Supreme Lord becomes personally pleased by that person who has satisfied his spiritual master. So in this way, Jiva Goswami is giving two examples. One example of how one overcomes all obstacles and attains perfection by serving the Bhagavad Shastra Upadeshak, the one who instructs us in the scripture, or by serving the mantra guru. And so, because there are two types of guru, from the tradition of each of these two types of guru come two types of guru parampara, the Pancharatriki Diksha Guru Parampara and the Bhagavad Guru Parampara. In regard to the guru who teaches Shastra, instructs us on Shastra, there's a very beautiful verse. It says, Shloka Padasya Vaktapi Ya Pujasa Sadaivahi Kim Buna Punar Bhagavad Vishnu Swarupam Vitanotiya. One should always serve and one should always worship that person who explains to you. Shloka Padasya Vaktapi, a shloka. One shloka, no. Shloka Pad. Here Pad means, in a verse, there are 4 lines. If any pure devotee explains to you one line of one shloka, then Shastra said, then you should serve and worship that person. Always. One line of one shloka. So Kim Puna Bhagavat Vishnu. Then what more can we say about that guru who blesses us with realization of the form of the Supreme Lord? Kim Puna, that is, what more can we say? So in the Padma Purana, though we have heard earlier that one should serve, as one is devoted to the Supreme Lord, he should also be devoted to Guru equally. But in the Padma Purana, there it is said, Bhakti yata haro meisti tadvarista goro yadhi mamasti tena satyena sandashaitu mehari. There, one devotee is praying, Oh my Lord, if as I am devoted to you, I have more devotion to my Guru even than to you, my Lord, then kindly, if this is true, kindly appear before me. And then the Supreme Lord appeared before that devotee. So this is called Vishesh Sevak, this special Sevak. There are two types of Guru Sevaks, Sadharan Sevak and Vishesh Sevak. The ordinary servant thinks that there are 64 angas of bhakti, hearing, chanting, remembering, serving the deity, and among 64 angas of bhakti, one of them is Vishrambena Guru Seva, serving my Guru. That is the general servant. But then there's the Vishesh Guru Sevak. The Vishesh Guru Sevak thinks that there's one anga of bhakti, serving my Guru. And my hearing, chanting, remembering, and all other things are part of service to Gurudev. So that person can realize Krishna very promptly. He is in the express lane to the lotus feet of Shri Krishna. So, more evidence from Srimad Bhagavatam of the Bhagavad Guru Parampara. This is quite astonishing because so many persons thought Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur has invented something new. But even by making that statement, they're simply advertising their own ignorance of the tradition. Advertising their own ignorance of Srimad Bhagavatam. In the 3rd verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, there it is said, Nigama kalpataro galitam palam Shukamukadamrita drabasam yutam Pibata bhagavatam rasamalayam Muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. Pibata bhagavatam. Oh bhavuk, oh rasiks, You devotees who are full of ecstatic emotion and who are expert in relishing bhakti rasa, pibata bhagavatam, drink this nectarian, immortal mellow of Srimad Bhagavatam. Nigama kalpatro galitam phalam. It is the juice coming from the ripened fruit of the desire tree of the Vedic literatures. And it has become even more tasty because a mango which has been pecked by a parrot, the skin of the mango has been broken by the beak of a parrot, it becomes more soft and delicious. So this Srimad Bhagavatam, it tastes even more delicious because it's been touched by the beak, that means touched by the lips of Shukadev Goswami, who is actually the incarnation of Srimati Radharani's own parrot. So in the commentary to this verse, Srila Jiva Goswami, Srila Vishnu Thakur is discussing why is it said here that the rasa of Srimad Bhagavatam is a liquid, it is a juice, and is galitam, and it is dripping down. Why? Because our process, it is not the aroha panta, it is not the ascending process. We cannot climb up to this divine knowledge. It has to descend to us. And it comes in the form of the Harikatha. And when a great Vaishnava like Shukadev Goswami, his heart is in Golok Vrindavan, and his heart is melting, and seeing the beauty of the pastimes of Sri Krishna, those pastimes, they become Mukharita, Tasmin Mahan Mukharita. They transformed into transcendental sound, Shabda Brahma. And they come from the lips of Shukadev Goswami. And then Parikshit Maharaj and other devotees, they hear it. And when it enters into their heart, then their hearts also melt. And in this way, the rasa is descending. And so this is the Bhagavat Guru Parampara, in which the very essence of all the Shastra, that is the Braja Rasa, especially Radha Dasham, service to the lotus feet of Srimati Radhika, is passed from generation to generation in the form of this liquid rasa flowing in as Harikatha. So in the commentary on the third verse, there, Sri Vishnu Thakur, he said, Atacha Tena Swaditattvat Ati Maduram Tata Sutadi Sakataha Shanai Shanai Patanada Kanditam Tena Guru Parampara Vina Swabuddhi Balan Aswadane Shri Bhagavatasya Kanditatve Pan Anasakti Suchita. The meaning is, Suchita, this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam indicates Swabuddhi Balena, that you cannot taste this divine rasa on the power of one's own intelligence. There's no power within us which will make this rasa available, but rather Shanai Shanai Patanad, it's falling step by step, Akanditam, in unbroken line, from guru to disciple, Taina Guru Paramparam, in Guru Parampara. So here, Vishnu Thakur is saying, this is the Guru Parampara. But what Guru Parampara is it? Is it Pancharatric Guru Parampara? No. He said, Sutadi Sakata, the line from Sutta Goswami. So Sutta Goswami, in Srimad Bhagavatam, Shaunaka Rishi is hearing from him, but they have no Pancharatric Diksha connection. Sutta Goswami himself heard from Shukadev Goswami, but Shukadev Goswami did not give him Diksha. Shukadev Goswami heard from Vyasadeva, but no Diksha like this. So here, Srila Vishnu Thakur describes the third verse of Srimad Bhagavatam is explaining the Bhagavat Guru Parampara. Now, I want to give some more examples from Srimad Bhagavatam. In the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sridhar Swami comments, Dvedahi Srimad Bhagavata Sampradaya Pravritihi. The meaning is, the Bhagavat Sampradaya Pravritihi, it begins in two ways, Dveda. In two ways, it's directly written, Srimad Bhagavat Sampradaya Pravriti. Can anyone say that there's no Bhagavat Sampradaya? So, and then he gives the examples, Ekata Sankshepata Shri Narayana Brahma Naradadi Dwarena Anyatastu Vistarata Shesha Sanat Kumara Sankyayanadi Dwarena. He's saying that in Srimad Bhagavatam, two Bhagavad Guru Paramparas are mentioned. One goes from Lord Narayan, we can say it's Krishna, to Brahma, to Narad, to Vyas, and the other one, it goes from Sankarshan to Sanat Kumar, from Sanat Kumar to Sankyayan Muni. Now Sankyayan Muni had two students, prominent students. One is Parasara. You know Parasara Muni? Yes. So, and then from Parasara, Maitreya. And then Maitreya Vidura. This comes in, Sridhar Swami is explaining this in the beginning of the third canto, because in the third canto we have Vidura meeting with Maitreya Rishi. So what is this? This is the Bhagavat Sampradaya, or the Bhagavat Guru Parampara, starting Sankarshan, Sanat Kumar, Sankyayan Rishi, Parashara, Maitreya, Vidura. And we can say also, starting with Sankarshana, Sanat Kumar, Sankyayan, it's the same up to there. So Sankyayan Rishi has another prominent disciple, that is Brihaspati. And who is the disciple of Brihaspati? Uddhav. So now in the third canto, we're meeting in this Bhagavad Sampradaya, three important persons. Vidura first, he meets with Uddhav. And then Uddhav said, actually Maitreya Rishi is nearby and he's senior to me. So I don't want to make the Maryada Vyatikram. I don't want to transgress etiquette. So you can go and hear from Maitreya Rishi, like that. So also Vishnacharya Thakur, in his commentary in Sarata Darshini, he says, Tadevam Sri Bhagavatasya Sankarshanat Sampradaya Pravritim. Now Maitreya will begin this story after having shown the Sampradaya of the Bhagavatam that began with Sankarshan. So, the inner essence of this Bhagavad Sampradaya is described. Shukdev Goswami said, you know, this is a very moving, we're in the third canto now. It's very moving. Vidura, as he left the palace because it seems like he was insulted by Duryodhana. And so he left the palace because he was being insulted. But really, that was just an excuse for him to become disentangled from all obligations in this world and become absorbed in service to Krishna. So Vidura is wondering, in the meantime, while he was traveling here and there was a big war and so on. And actually, see, Krishna has disappeared from this world. He's become unmanifest. The Yadavas, the Yadu dynasty have become unmanifest. And Krishna has sent Uddhav, I want you to go to Badrik Ashram and speak Srimad Bhagavatam to the rishis there in the Himalayas. But on the way, you should go and on the bank of the Jamuna, you'll meet with Vidura and Maitreya Rishi. So you should meet with them first and then go. So exactly as Krishna described happened, and as Uddhav was on his way to Badrik Ashram, there on the bank of Jamuna, he met with Vidura. And Vidura asked him, how is Krishna? How is the Yadu dynasty? He doesn't know what's happened. And Uddhav is burning in separation. Can you imagine? He's so close to Krishna. Vrishni nam pravaro mantri Krishnasya daita saka. Shishyo Brihaspate sakshad Uddhavo buddhi sattama. When Krishna wanted to send a message to the gopis of Vrindavan, he could not find anyone who was qualified in the whole world except for Uddhav. Only Uddhav. He was Krishna's advisor. Krishnasya Daitasaka. He was a very dear friend of Krishna. He was privy to so many confidential things. Just as Krishna would sometimes go to meet with Radhika along with his friend Subal. So in Mathura, when Krishna went to meet with Kubja, Uddhav came along. So no one knew that Krishna met with Kubja, but Uddhav, he's very confidential. So now Krishna has left this world. Uddhav is feeling so much separation. And he meets with Vidura, and Vidura is so happy to see him. Oh, how's Krishna? How are the Yadu dynasty? They've all gone. He's the only one left behind. Uddhav is the only one left behind. Why? Why is Uddhav the only one left behind? Krishna himself, he was thinking, Nuddhavon vapiman you know, Yadguna nadita prabhu, Atomad vayuna vatam, Grahan hiyatishtatu. Uddhav thought, Krishna thought, I will leave, and all my dynasty, all the Yadus, they will also leave. But Grahayan hiyatishtatu, may Uddhav stay here in this world. Why? Because Nuddhavon vapiman you know, Uddhav is not even minutely less than myself. Na Uddhavo anu Nuddhavo vapiman you know means na Uddhava anu api. Uddhav Nunam is less. He is not anu Nunam. He is not even atomically, even slightly less than myself. Nuddhavan vapiman you know. Yadguna nadita prabhu. He is not oppressed by the three gunas. Uddhav is not a person who's in Maya. So, atomad vayuna lokam. Atomad vayuna lokam. Therefore, madvayu. Krishna, that means my air. My air. What air? Harikatha. Yatu tadviya charnam bhutiko shagandam. Jigranti kana virai shruti vata nitam. Kadama Muni, he said that. So Brahmaji said that, oh my Lord, when your pure devotees speak, then the fragrance of your lotus feet is carried on the air of the sound that comes from their lips. So, ato madvayuna lokam. Uddhav should stay in this world to present to the world madvayu, my air. That means the sound vibration of Srimad Bhagavatam. So one may say, Uddhav, how can you say Uddhav is not less than Krishna? Because when someone speaks Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna appears there. And so if Uddhav is still in this world, and Uddhav will speak Srimad Bhagavatam, then Krishna is still in this world. That's why Uddhav had to stay behind. So it seemed that Krishna disappeared, that he was no longer here, and he became Aprakat. But Krishna remained in the form of Bhagavad Gita. But only that Bhagavad Gita spoken by a qualified person who has realization, like Uddhav. So, all the Yadus have gone, all of Uddhav's family and all his associates and Krishna, they were all gone. And now Vidura is asking him, oh, how is Krishna and the Yadus? So Shukadeva Goswami said, Shanakair Bhagaval Lokan Nilokam Puna Agata Vimridja Netre Viduran Pritya Uddhava Utsmayan. The meaning is, Shanakair means gradually, Bhagaval Lokan, from the abode of the Supreme Lord, Nrilokam Puna Agata, Uddhav came back to the world of human beings. In other words, when Vidura asked that question, oh, how is Krishna? Then Uddhav went into trance. He felt so much separation, he lost external consciousness. And in his fire of separation, he lost external consciousness, and he found himself Bhagavaloka, in the planet of Krishna. And he was with Krishna. So Uddhav was in a trance, and Vidura was just waiting. Then Shanakair means gradually, Mibrijya Netra Viduran. Then Uddhav wiped his eyes, he wiped the tears from his eyes. Pritya Uddhava Utsmayam, and with great affection, Uddhav spoke to Vidura, and Uddhav was smiling. Why was he smiling? And why was he speaking with great affection? Because when Uddhav went to the eternal Dwarka in the spiritual world and saw Krishna there, after some time Krishna said, "Hey Uddhav, Vidura has asked you a question. You should answer his question." And so because Krishna told him to reply to Vidura, therefore Uddhav opened his eyes and looked at Vidura, and he was in ecstasy. Because, oh, Krishna is remembering, he told me to speak to you. And so he's wiping his tears and smiling and speaking to Vidura. This is the Bhagavad Guru Parampara. Understand? Third canto is describing the Bhagavad Guru Parampara. From Sankarshan to the Kumaras, Sanat Kumar, to Sankayan, to the Brihaspati or Parashara to Maitreya, to Vidura, or from the Brihaspati to Uddhav. This is the Bhagavad Guru Parampara. So there's nothing lacking in this Parampara because it is the current of Prema. The current of Prema and the current of realization is flowing there. So just to conclude, today we are discussing Guru Tattva and the two possible lines, the Pancharatrik Diksha Guru Parampara and the Bhagavad Guru Parampara where Shiksha is coming. But we cannot just say it's Shiksha. Why? Because let's say if there's a Diksha line, the Diksha Guru, he may not be realized. So if the Guru is not realized, then his mantra is like blank. You know, if there's a race in the Olympics, everyone gets on the starting, and then the starting person comes with a gun and shoots. But this gun cannot shoot anyone because it's not a real bullet. It makes a sound, but it has no effect. So if the Guru is not realized, then their words make a sound, but it will not produce the effect. If there are anarthas, attachments and ignorance, then it will just give anarthas and attachments and ignorance to those who are listening. So, in the Guru Parampara, if Diksha Guru does not have realization, then even though the Parampara is going on as a formality, but really, Yoga Nashta Parantarpa, the actual line is broken. And even if you say, well, then there's a Shiksha Guru Parampara, but also if the Shiksha Guru does not have realization, then the answer is not Diksha Guru Parampara or Shiksha Guru Parampara, but the Bhagavad Guru Parampara. So, in the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Guru Parampara has also been very beautifully described there. At the end of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is Sutta Goswami. He glorifies the Srimad Bhagavatam and he says, Kasmai yena vibhasitoya matalo jnana pradipa pura tadrupena chanaradaya munaye krishnaya tadrupina yogindraya tadatmanata bhagavat rataya karunyatas tatshuddham vimalam vishokamamritam satyam param dhimahi. Satyam Param Dhimahi. It's at the end, 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And in the first verse, Satyam Param Dhimahi. A doubt may arise in the first verse. Who are you talking about? This Param Tattva that we should meditate on. But in the end, it's made very clear. Kasma Yena Vibhasitoyam. That person is the Supreme Truth who enlightened Lord Brahma at the beginning of time. So that is Krishna. Kasma Yena Vibhasitoyam Atulam Jnana Pradipa Pura. In the past, see Krishna himself, he spoke this Srimad Bhagavatam, he manifested this eternal Srimad Bhagavatam to Lord Brahma. Then, Tadrupena Chanaradaya. Then Brahma gave this Srimad Bhagavatam to Narad. But something special is mentioned here. Tadrupena means in the form of Brahma, Krishna gave this Bhagavatam to Narad. In other words, Krishna took the form of Lord Brahma and then Krishna gave the Bhagavatam to Narad. So Tadrupena Chanaradaya Munaye Krishnaya Tadrupinas. And then Munaye Krishnaya Tadrupinas. Then Narad, he gave to Shukadev Goswami. Sorry, to Vyasadeva. He gave to Vyasadeva. But Tadrupina means no. Krishna, who had taken the form of Narad, now took the form. Krishna had taken the form of Brahma, that took the form of Narad, and then Narad took the form of Vyas, and then Vyas gave to Shukadev Goswami. But it was Krishna in the form of Vyas who gave to Shukadev Goswami. Then Yogindraya Tadatmana. Yogindraya means Shukadev Goswami, the king of yogis. Then Krishna entered into Shukadev Goswami, Tadatmanata, Bhagavat Rataya Karunitas, and it was Krishna himself who instructed Parikshit Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam. So the Srila Jiva Goswami Pad said, here has been presented the Bhagavat Guru Mahatmya. What is the Mahatmya? The glory of the Bhagavat Guru. The glory of the Bhagavat Guru is Sakshat Haritvaina Samasta Shastre. That see Krishna himself enters into the Bhagavat Guru, and only Krishna himself reveals Srimad Bhagavatam in each generation. This is the Bhagavat Guru Parampara. So that is described in Paramatma Sandarbha. So we have given evidence from the Bhagavatam itself, from Tattva Sandarbha, from Bhakti Sandarbha, from Paramatma Sandarbha. Is there any doubt that there's such a thing as the Bhagavat Guru Parampara? So how great is Prabhupada Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur? All of these things. This is very natural to him, and he's just speaking and explaining. But the general public, they could not understand. Many could not understand. But those who were very fortunate, all of his associates, the parikars of Prabhupada Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, like Srila Prabhupada, like our Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Kesha Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Dait Madhav Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Vilas Tirtha Maharaj. So many. Nija Seva Katara Karanji Vidum. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur is like the moon, surrounded by the stars. It's not that every night it's another moon. It's the same moon. And it's not new stars, they're the same stars. So these are the eternal associates of Srila Prabhupada. They came with him. And they have complete faith in his words. And gradually, all these various pramans from all over the Shastra now, they are being presented to us. So no doubt will be left ever. So, I want to conclude by telling one pastime that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur used to say, which illustrates Guru Tattva. And also you can find you can study here. In ancient times, there was a king. His name was Janashruti Maharaj. Janashruti Maharaj was very wealthy and he was very generous. And he was a Dharmavir, he was a Danavir, he was a hero of charity. He was a hero of Dharma. And so he opened kitchens all over the world because he wanted to feed everyone. And he was feeling very good about his services to society. So he was the epitome of generosity, he was the epitome of charity. And one day some sages saw him, some rishis. And those rishis thought, oh, how can we bring about his good fortune? So they made a plan. It was summertime. And in the summer it's hot, so the king, he likes to go up onto the balcony, the terrace of his palace and sleep under the moon at night. So he was resting outside under the moon. And those sages, by their mystic power, they took the form of swans. And the swans were flying in the sky above the palace of Janashruti Maharaj. So as they were flying along, the swan at the back said to the swan at the front, be careful, because down there is one Maharaj, Janashruti Maharaj. And from his dharma, from his good activities, he's become so effulgent that his effulgence is spreading up to the sky. And my dear swan friend, if you fly into his effulgence, it's so intense, it may scorch you. So be careful, don't fly into the scorching effulgence of the great Janashruti Maharaj. Janashruti Maharaj was there, he was listening. So then, the swan that was in the front, he said, who is this person you're talking about, this effulgent person? Are you talking about Shakatvan Raikwa? Shakatvan Raikwa, he is really an accomplished person. He is really an effulgent person. Whatever is worthwhile to be known is known by him. And whatever is to be attained in life has been attained by him. So then this one who was behind said, no, I wasn't talking about Shakatvan Raikwa. Who's Shakatvan Raikwa? So then the first one, he told him, yes, Shakatvan Raikwa. Shakatvan means one who owns a cart. Shakat, a shakat. He knows everything which is to be known. He has achieved everything that is to be achieved. He is really an effulgent person. This is just an introduction to his personality. And the swans flew off. Then the king was deflated. I thought I was great. But even this one is saying I'm like nothing. Compared to this Shakatvan Raikwa. Who is Shakatvan Raikwa? And he was the king now, because he was so chuffed with himself, that he was serving everyone, distributing food to everyone. And on this moment, hearing the conversation of the swans, he became deflated. But he also became curious. He got up from his bed, he went downstairs, and he met with his chariot driver. He said, oh chariot driver, I want you to find Shakatvan Raikwa. Find out who he is and where he is, and then report to me. So then the chariot driver, he set off, and he was going everywhere. In all the towns and villages, everywhere he was going for a long, long time. But he could not find Shakatvan Raikwa. So then, he came back and he told the king, I'm sorry, I cannot find him. The king said, don't give up. You should go to desolate places where there are no people. Again, look. So then he went here and there, over mountains and valleys, and finally one day, he saw a shakat, he saw a cart, just a simple wooden cart. And underneath the cart was one old sadhu long beard, long hair, kind of messy. He was living underneath the cart. He had some rash on his skin, and he was always scratching himself. So he was just sitting there peacefully, but that charioteer came. So there's a shakat, there's a cart, and he's living underneath. He said, "Are you Shakatvan Raikwa?" So then that sage said, "Yes." Then the charioteer quickly got on his chariot and went back. He went back to the king and announced, "Your Majesty, Janashuti Maharaj, I have found Shakatvan Raikwa. Please come." So then Janashuti, he thought, I have to get his mercy somehow or other. What does he know that I don't know? What has he achieved that I have not achieved? So then the king, he got together 600 cows and a golden chariot and a beautiful jeweled necklace. And he set off with all of these treasures, and he traveled to that far away secluded place. And he came before the sage Shakatvan Raikwa Rishi. And he offered all of these things to him. Please take these 600 cows, take this golden chariot, please accept this jeweled necklace, and please tell me, what God are you worshipping? Teach me something about your Ishvara, your God. So now, Shakatvan Raikwa just looked up. He said, "You're a Shudra." You're a Shudra. That means, a king is a Kshatriya from the royal family. So then the next caste down, they're the Vaishyas, the businessmen, merchants, and farmers. And then the lowest caste, they're the laborers. And so it's they're tamasic, they're in the mode of ignorance. That is prominent in them. So he said, "You are a Sudra." Why? Because you're overwhelmed by lamentation. He was still feeling sore. That when he'd been glorified, and then afterwards said, "Oh well, he's not so important really. There's a person much more qualified than him." Hearing someone else's glory, he became dismayed. And that lamentation was still in his heart. So Shakatvan Raikwa said, "You are a Sudra. You are overwhelmed by lamentation, so you can keep your cows, you can keep your chariot, you can keep your necklace. I don't want it." You can imagine if someone came to you with gold and jewels and millions of dollars worth of goods and offered them to you, "Please accept this," then you'd probably be quite polite, right? Would you be polite? A bit diplomatic. But you see, Shakatvan Rishi, he's not in Maya. He cannot be bored. He has no attachment in this world at all. He said, "You are a Sudra, I don't want any of your things, go." So then the king, he returned to his palace, and then he thought for some time, and then he set off again. This time with 1,000 cows. And a golden chariot, and a necklace, and just to sweeten the deal, his beautiful virgin daughter as well. So then he came, and he bowed down to Raikwa Muni, and he said, "Kindly accept all these 1,000 cows, this golden chariot, this necklace, and please accept my daughter's hand in marriage, and this village, this whole area, I will also give to you." So then Raikwa Rishi said, "You are Sudra." Sudra comes from the word shok. Shok means lamentation. Someone who laments unnecessarily. So actually, all lamentation is unnecessary. Right? There's no such thing as someone who just laments necessarily. All lamentation is unnecessary. Because lamentation and complaining comes from the mode of ignorance. Supreme Lord is everywhere. He's a Paramatma in the heart of everyone and in every atom. and the universe is going on according with His will. If we think that something bad has ever happened in the past, in the present, or will happen in the future, means that we become overwhelmed by the dvandva, dualities of mature existence. And therefore, there we may lament, but this lamentation is due to the mode of ignorance, being in Maya. So he said, you are a Sudra. You think that you can receive instructions and receive knowledge from Guru only by giving some worldly things, some gifts, by giving a dakshina, by giving pranami. You think that you can get knowledge without serving. Not possible. Without serving and pleasing Guru. And then the anugraha, the prasad, the mercy comes. And then transcendental knowledge can appear. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te ganam ganenas tatvadashina. Krishna said in Gita, 3 things have to be there. Pranipat vritti. That means, vritti means the waves of thoughts in our mind, our chitta vritti. So we should have pranipat vritti. That means not just to fall down and pay obeisances. It means that our entire consciousness remains in a state of prostration 24 hours a day. We always remain in the spirit of prostration before our divine acharyas. That is called pranipat vritti. Only that consciousness is there. Pariprashnena. Pariprashnena means to ask questions. The pariprashna vritti. To ask question means not only to ask questions, but to do sadhana. Sadhana is the question. Kaha mora pranonato. Oh, where is the Lord of my heart, Krishna? Our sadhana is atatu brahma jigyasa. So where are you? Where is the supreme truth, Sri Krishna? All of our hearing, chanting, remembering is the question. Where are you? How can I serve you? How can I please you? When will you accept me? So the prashna vritti, submissive inquiry, and sevaya, the seva vritti. Only these 3 vritti should be in the mind. The prostration, the inquiry for the truth, and service. And when the mind only has these 3 vrittis and no other vritti, then upadekshyanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadashinaha. Then one can receive the upadesh, divine instruction and realization. Jnaninas tattvadashina, because those who are tattvadarshi, those who have the darshan, who can see reality, they can also bless us to see that reality, Shri Krishna also. So Raikvavishi chastised him. You are a Sudra, you are lamenting, and you think that you can get transcendental knowledge by donating perishable things of this world. So then, the Janashruti Maharaj, he just gave pranam and sat very humbly at the feet of Raikva Rishi. And then Raikva Rishi instructed him. Now a question comes, why did he instruct him? It's very profound. The first thing is that Raikva Muni was testing Janashruti Maharaj. It's very difficult in this world if a person has education, if they have wealth, if they have position. They cannot accept any rebuke. They cannot accept any chastisement. Dinera adik doi kari Bhagavan Kulina pandit dhani para abhiman. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that Krishna is most merciful to the humble persons. But if one is a kulin, that means he has aristocratic birth. Panditya, if one is very learned, has a very high education, or dhani, one is very wealthy, then gradually, generally, along with those things comes a very big ego, big pride, and so mercy will not come. But even though he was a king, he was a ruler of the world, but he was chastised. You are a Sudra. But he did not argue, he did not quarrel, he did not try to defend himself. He accepted the chastisement of Sri Guru. And because he humbly accepted the chastisement and the discipline of Sri Guru, then Raikavishri could understand that he was sincere. This is one thing. Another thing is that Janashruti Maharaj, he never tried to measure his Guru by the Adhyakshik Gyan, by the knowledge that comes from the senses. He never thought, this is a poor person, this is a homeless person, this is a person scratching with some skin disease. He never tried to understand him by his material perception. So that is also important. One must not have prakrita buddhi, material conception towards Sri Guru. Only conception towards Sri Guru is Yadyapi Amara Guru Chaitanya Das Tatapi Jani Ami Tahara Prakash. Although I know my Gurudev is Chaitanya Das, he's the servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but at the same time, I see him as one manifestation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So two visions have to be there. When we see Sri Guru, then even though we have not realized, if we do not realize, then we superimpose. Yes, I understand my Guru is a sadhu, is a saint, is servant of Krishna. But at the same time, the form of Guru is one form of Krishna, who has come before me to guide me. Because Jive Sakshat Nahi Tati Guru Chaitya Rupe Shiksha Guru Hoi Krishna Mahanta Swarupe. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pad said, the conditioned soul, even though Krishna is the Guru, Chaitya Guru living in his heart, but he cannot hear him. He cannot perceive him. And therefore that Chaitya Guru living in the heart comes outside in the form of Mahant, in the form of a great devotee. So it's Krishna in my heart who has come before me in the form of a Vaishnava, and he is instructing me how to cross over all obstacles and attain his lotus feet and his eternal service in Goloka Vrindavan. So Vishnu Thakur said, one must not think that Sri Guru is one learned sage. He's like a rishi who knows so much Shastra. One should not even think Sri Guru is like one avatar of Vishnu or avatar of the Supreme Lord. One should think he is directly the form of Krishna. Sakshat Haritvaina Asamasta Shastra. And also a saint. So both visions at the same time. That Krishna himself of Braja has appeared in this special form to bring me to his lotus feet. Otherwise, if that vision is compromised in any way, then the disciple, he cannot make one step of progress on the spiritual path. Just like a person whose spine is healthy, they can run and quickly go to their destination. But if a person has an injury, a spinal injury, they become paralyzed and cannot move. So when the Shraddha, the Nishta, Guru Nishta is there, a soul can progress very quickly on spiritual life. But if there is some sankshaya, sangsatva vinashati, if there's any doubt, that means the Guru Nishta is injured in any way, then the person becomes paralyzed in spiritual life. And they cannot make one step. Everything is heavy. Japamala is heavy. Bhagavatam is heavy. It's all very hard to pick up. The body is heavy in the kirtan. Very hard to dance. But when Guru Nishta is there, everything is light. Just like dust is very light and the wind blows, goes up in the air. So when one becomes very humble and maintains the correct angular vision in vantage point in regard to Sri Guru, then you become light and everything float into the air during kirtan. Japamala is very light and everything is flowing and easy in bhakti. So, these are the teachings in the pastimes of Raika Muni. One, we cannot purchase spiritual knowledge from Sri Guru by just giving money. Gurudev, I give you money. Gurudev, I give you a house, give you a temple. No, we cannot offer things. We have to do Atma Samarpan. We have to offer ourselves. You see? So Raika Rishi, he understood that Janashruti Maharaj was very sincere. Why? Because if he gave 1,000 cows, what's the big deal? He's got thousands more cows. If he'll give a golden chariot, what's the big deal? He has so many golden chariots. But if he'll give his beautiful daughter, who he loves so much, he's only got one. She's very dear to him. And so if he'll give his daughter, that means that now his relation also will be for the whole life as well. That means he's not coming and going. Just making a visit, trying to pick the pocket of Guru, get some knowledge and leave. So because of this, because he was offering something that was very dear to him. And because it was clear that he wanted to have a permanent, lifelong relationship. Chakudano dilo jay. Janme, Prabhu said, not only this life, but future lives also. He wanted a permanent relationship. And because he was humble, and because he accepted chastisement, therefore, Raika Rishi could understand that he was sincere, and so he instructed him, and by the mercy of his Guru, he became enlightened. Because Janashruti, he did not only give the cows, but he did the Atma Samarpan. He offered himself. Diksha Kali Bhakta Kori Atma Samarpan, Say Kali Krishna Kari Tori Atmasam, Say Deya Kari Tori Chidananda Moy, Aprakrita Deya Tara Charna Bhajay. Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Sanatan Goswami, O Sanatan, at the time of initiation, Diksha Kali Bhakta Kori Atma Samarpan, when a soul gives his heart to see Guru, body, mind, words, everything, in seva, in service, then Atma Samarpan, say Kali Krishna Kari Tari Atma Sam. Then Krishna, he thinks, I accept this person as my associate. How will Krishna accept us into his entourage? By the Atma Samarpan, complete surrender of the self to Sri Guru at the time of Diksha, or the process, during the process of Diksha, preferably at the beginning. But if we did not surrender right when we received our Diksha, it's a process, but it will not become mature until we do the Atma Samarpan, completely offer the self. So then at that time, say Deya Kari Tori Chidanandamoy. At that time, when a person surrenders, then his body becomes Chidanandamoy, becomes transcendental. Na Devo Devam Archayat. In Shastra it said, unless you become a demigod, you cannot serve the demigods. Let's say you want to serve Indra. What will you do? You need to have a demigod body and go to Swargalok, and then you can serve Indra. So in the same way, here is Krishna and Radhika. They are Sachidananda, Vigraha, embodiment of Sachidananda. How can you serve them if you are not Sachidananda? It's not possible. Therefore, by the process of Diksha, by the process of Diksha mantra, when the disciple surrenders, then imperceivably to the general people of the world, he becomes Sachidananda, and by the Sachidananda form, Tara Charna Bhajai, he can serve the lotus feet of the deity. This is why no one can do the deity seva without Diksha. Because the Diksha makes us qualified. Guru's mercy makes us qualified to actually serve, not stone, serve Krishna. Pratima nahi tumi sakshat brajendaranam. You are not a deity. You are directly the son of Nanda Maharaj and the daughter of Prishupanu Maharaj. So, because Janashruti, he did the Atma Samarpan, he was accepted by Raika Rishi. He became transformed and transcendental, and then he could engage in pure bhakti. So, this is, we have tried to just discuss today this important topic. It should never be overlooked. It should be deliberated upon profoundly every day. Guru Tattva. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, he used to say, that day I forget Gurudev, the service of Gurudev. No, that hour. No, that minute. No, that second. No, that fraction of a second. When I neglect the service of Sri Guru or forget Sri Guru, that fraction of a second is the greatest calamity and the greatest disaster in the history of the universe. These are the words of Prabhupada Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Sri Guru Tattva ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Sadhu, sadhu.
So we are beginning on Guru Tattva. Tomorrow we want to discuss the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then the last 2 days of the weekend we'll discuss the pastimes of Radha and Krishna.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. So I believe we'll sing Arti now, and then there'll be Mahaprasad for all the devotees.